Hey everyone, hopefully you guys can hear me and everything is going all right. Hopefully everyone's doing good, having a good time this week. I know we skipped a week because we were Lost Cryptids were out in the field, so we missed us last Saturday and stuff. So we're back at it again, and going to thanks for the thumbs up, Texas Jack. I appreciate it. We're going to get into some things, of course, what happened on that little camp out over in this new little spot that we haven't been to in too much. So, and then we're going to throw the link in the chat and stuff and pretty much open it up for you guys to hang out and do whatever. And just have a pretty chill stream tonight. I got one video almost ready to load. Trying to load. I don't know. Kind of the last minute I seen it and I forgot to make a little video on misidentified tracks and stuff. And this one is a picture that was going around, has been going around, is going around again and stuff. And I'm, I sometimes I just can't believe that people when they're looking at tracks and stuff and they just don't understand what they're looking at and they are consumed with the thought of Dogman or Bigfoot when it's regular animals like a rabbit or coyotes or something else bounding through the snow. And it's comical that everyone's saying, oh, it's Bigfoot tracks. And of course they never follow the Bigfoot tracks. They never go, and they only take one picture of the track, and it's only a single track, and they never follow the track line. They never take pictures of the track line. And it's it's a lot easier to pretty much get a single picture, get a sensational story behind it, get some views. All right, so that's almost ready to go. And I think I could get another one real fast. There's another pareidolia picture with some painted on red eyes that I really found was just quite comical and stuff because it's that delusional thinking that Bigfoot's in every bush. There's a Bigfoot track in every track line you find in the snow. It's not deer. It's not rabbits. It's not any other animals struggling to get through the snow. So let me pop over here and download this video real quick to the computer so we can upload it. To look at these set of tracks and this pareidolia pictures and stuff. Once I do this real quick. But hopefully everyone's doing good and stuff. And we are going to show and talk about the camp out and stuff. The other members aren't here. They might maybe be able to join next week. I do have some stuff to show you from the camp out that we potentially caught, some potential evidence. More potential evidence should be on the show next week. Got one of the members looking through his audio and stuff, and it's taking a little bit longer and stuff. Of course, life happens, and he has to also manually is looking through it also. So for specific parts, we got a couple wood knocks and stuff. So basically, we started having activity and stuff. I want to get them on to have them talk about it and stuff from their point of view, obviously. But we will dive into a little bit of it tonight. Get this video downloaded and then we can talk about this and get this other one going. So we went into this area debating on pretty much when we went camping. I was debating on either hitting up the same spot we were getting at when we got wood knocks before, or the 36 wood knocks, or if we go into a new camp and into basically camp in a new spot, a couple of miles away and stuff, and see if there was going to be activity there, which is another spot with, it's all historical sightings in the area, and a couple of researchers have had encounters and stuff. So we hung out and got a little bit of activity and stuff, which is pretty interesting. All right, that is downloaded, and then this one will be shortly. So pretty much, we only experienced, we were out there for almost 2 nights and stuff. We didn't stay the second night and stuff because of the ticks. There were so many ticks that were on me, and I had 2 that had got embedded actually in me and stuff that I had to, of course, take out and clean and stuff. So, and that's a pain in the ass. Excuse my friends to do, and also just to see. Honestly, when you look at it and you see the bug embedded into your skin and stuff, it's kind of freaks you out. It gives you a little ick kind of feeling and stuff. And dealing with ticks. Luckily here, in Michigan, dealing with ticks, depending on who you are, what you are, where you are at and stuff, you might want to go to the doctors and hospitals and get some checked up to make sure you don't have potential Lyme disease and other bacteria, but it's mainly, of course, bacteria and stuff. So you should, of course, wash the wound out and make sure when you get the tick out of you that you get the head, not just the body. And there's a couple ways you can do that. Of course, the old-fashioned way that my dad said used to do is, of course, if you smoke cigarettes, I don't smoke cigarettes, but you can back them out with the heat of a cigarette and stuff, and they'll back out on their own. Also is recommended is peppermint oil and stuff. It supposedly does the same thing. They don't like it and they back out. If you don't have anything, heat up a needle, sterilize it. You can poke and push it out and get it out and stuff. Because if you decapitate it, of course, and you leave the head embedded into your skin, it's going to cause even more potential infection and, of course, bacteria spread. And your skin could heal over that, and then you get a big old hard lump. That's not going to go away. So, never fun to deal with. It's definitely early season for ticks, but with the mild winter that we've had here in Michigan, it's definitely a booming season for ticks in that particular spot, especially. I mean, these other spots have been pretty good, but that spot was like, woof, pulled off four ticks off in the 1 3/4 of a day we were there, because we stayed until it was nighttime the second day. So, but it's way too much. Yeah, Robert, we can definitely do that. I think we should have time later in the show. I'm guessing we probably will. We can take a look at whatever video you have. Why don't you put it in the chat and stuff, and we'll get going. I'm pretty much just waiting for the downloads to happen. So what happens is it's kind of easy to make videos on the phone using the app, depending on then the computer software, and it's easier just to grab stuff and do it. And but the only problem is it doesn't. It's supposed to be able to do different file modes and stuff, so it's stuck in this default MOV movie file, and instead of like MP4 or something that's more compatible with StreamYard. So I have to kind of like make a video and then get it over to the computer and show it off that way, or it should just do it the regular way. And but of course, technology, so it figures. Yeah, post the channel, or the link. If you link to the video itself with the timestamp, we can take a look at some of that stuff. I've been doing some interviews on some other shows on What the Frick Live on Rumble, and with the Ghostly Archives, with my two hosts that we do on the other show that I'm a co-host on, actually. And it is the Beast System. You can find that show on Rumble. And we get into some political conspiracy stuff and some spiritual craziness and stuff, and it's a deep dive. So it's called the Beast System on Rumble. Been doing that every Thursday. And also did interviews on my co-host's show, which is What the Frick Live, and the Ghostly Archives on X. Let me make sure I have that one correct. But I'm going to put the links in the chat later, because they do have some awesome content on their shows and stuff. And it's kind of a variety on everything. I know I'm doing just a bunch of stuff at the same time, it seems like. But so it's been pretty good. It's been a pretty fun week and stuff. I'm actually pretty happy and stuff, and doing pretty good lately. So boom, boom, boom. Anyways, I'll have the links to those shows later. Because I recommend you guys checking them out and stuff, of course. All right. All right. Let's see. The video is called Cedar Creek Bottoms Farmstead Life. Video of the screen caps was about 3 days ago called Back in the Mountain. Now this being truthful, I can't do it. All right, we'll check that out. Yeah, we'll check that out, of course. I mean, why not? It's always interesting to see a potential piece of evidence or potential piece of bullshit, I guess. I mean, or somewhere in between. Doesn't have to be at the extreme end of the bad end, but I kind of mixed feelings there with the Sawdust Beast group because of just red flags and shenanigans that I see and stuff that comes out that just doesn't make sense as a real researcher. And but we've already gone down that rabbit hole. All right, so that video is downloaded. So let's get it on the computer and let's get it going. As I just made these videos like literally 2 minutes, and I just made this other one as the show has started. So wasn't expecting to show these and stuff, but I did snag them because I thought they were interesting because it just shows the level we're still at, which is crap. Because when people go out there, they're not really researching or doing anything, or like Sawdust Beach, they're out camping and you're sitting at camp, whatever it takes a day, and you find the trackway and you tell Larry, hey, look at this trackway, and it takes him a day and a half to go over there. Doesn't sound that far away from camp to go over there and check for the one of the Bigfoot experts there hosting camp to check. I mean, so this lackluster stuff, this mediocre, I'm a Bigfoot researcher, and then when it's time to actually execute and do stuff, you don't do stuff, you're not executing stuff, or you're half-assing it, or you're just like, whatever. I'll look at the tracks in a day and a half later when they're deteriorated, and it's, whatever. And it's more of the same with this when we have and not download. Let's redo that. There we go. There we go. Hopefully, should be. There we go. All right, so let's show this pareidolia because that's basically what it is. Where's the Bigfoot? Do you see the Bigfoot? Let's do the full layout. Where's the Bigfoot? Can you see the Bigfoot? Do you guys see the Bigfoot eyes? Do you guys see the red eyes right there? I mean, you might have to squint. It's oh, so literally someone took a picture of the, some vines and some bush, and they edited the video and put 2 red dots there. And I really thought and the post isn't very descriptive and stuff. It just says yeah, obviously someone painted those in. Obviously it's edited, but it's kind of, the interpretation is, oh, do you see what I'm seeing? And it's there's nothing there. It's the Bushman, it's the bush creature. It's so people will literally see whatever without the eyes there, and then they will help say, hey, I need, this is where the eyes are, and then they paint the eyes on, and it's it's a Bigfoot camouflaged, warped. It's a one with nature right there, and it's there, but it's not there, because you can see it after the fact, but in the moment and stuff, it's invisible and stuff. Only after you take pictures and stuff and you add the red eyes that you can tell now. And I'm gonna probably guess that the person I have to go back and because I didn't want to call this person out because again, this person is just a random nobody who is pushing. I most of the time when people who are the randoms who don't are not famous and they're not trying to get be famous and really hoax people, it seems like they're just lonely and they need people to talk to and engage and stuff socially. And most of the time, that's what they need and seems to do with their fantasy storytelling, role playing. I'm out there and I take pictures of trees, and then there's Bigfoot out there, and they're so fascinated with this Bigfoot mystery and the magic by it. And of course, Bigfoot can teleport into plants, or it's magical, or it's alien, or it's a ghost. I mean, frankly, we technically don't know what the heck it is and what all it can do. But at the same time, to go down this rabbit hole of, well, it's right there, obviously. Here, let me draw the red eyes to help. It's right there. That's a Bigfoot. I could give you in an hour 1,000 different Bigfoots that look like that. It's fantasy. It's not real. So we're swimming through the muddiest water. We're swimming through water that most of the shore on the shallow end of things is murky and muddy, filled with this crap. In the deep water, that's scary to go swimming into, which is actual research and going after them, it's a little bit more clear because it's not full of actual bullshit. Oh, I only got a single picture and no video and stuff like that. This is the simple, just go get a picture, get some evidence, draw some circles, draw some eyes, talk to your friends in your Facebook group, and it makes them feel happy, makes them feel good, makes them feel better. And we're kind of dealing with this like a therapy session with the Bigfoot. Bigfoot is this medium which people use to help them get over stuff, get over a bunch of things, and it's very social in its community and stuff. So it's very good qualities to have. It's just it's just attracting people who are bringing qualities and evidence to our light that is not good, like this crap who and then I think the people, whether they want to believe it or not, and they think they're trying to hoax on purpose or not, they start believing the bullshit. Like the person takes this picture. I mean, honestly, come on. When you're in the moment, there's nothing there. How many you can spend 10 minutes at this bush and it's not going to do anything. But when you go back and you're editing and then you're trying to come up with a story and then you want to, impress the group, the community, or whatever that the person is trying to post, and you get that satisfaction, that gratification, it becomes that fantasy, and they start believing the bullshit. Like, oh yeah, there's a Bigfoot there, and then they start making up. I was feeling it. I was getting mind speak of like, be careful, don't go closer, or I was getting zapped, and so I was like, my mind was melting. I was getting fried. I was getting really hot and itchy. So I had to get away. And they start making up wackadoo stories. And they start believing and drinking their own Kool-Aid. And then, and then fantasy and reality is just a juggle of, whatever. And we see that. We see that with a lot of this type of massive group posting and stuff. It's crap. It's sad, but if you swim out in the deep waters, like you go walk up to that bush and go walk through the bush, then you find out if that's a Bigfoot or not. It might seem scary to this person who thinks that's actual Bigfoot, but the only way they're going to get out of this murky shoreline of bullcrap where everyone's sticking their feet in and just getting the water muddy, you go swimming in that deep water. It's a little bit more scary because you can't touch the bottom, but you're going to find the real truth. And that's the only way that we're actually going to discover anything and observe anything is the real truth, not this fantasy bullshit and believing the Kool-Aid. And because your friend posted this, or Miss Mary posted this, and Miss Mary's a very nice woman. Maybe she's an older woman too, and she's very nice, and she's, she bake you apple pie and all this nice stuff. She basically is still shoving a lie down your face with a smile and saying, this is my story, and it's delusional at best. And if you feed into it, you're only feeding into her delusion and craziness and fantasy storytelling, and you're only gonna make her bake something better for next time. So we're always going to see those stuff. It's almost impossible to keep up with every single one that is ever posted. There are thousands of them. From just random everyday average people who don't want to have a channel, who don't, have a group, who don't want to get recognized, who don't really care. They're just doing their thing and posting and making friends, and it's their community, and it makes them feel good. All right, so we got this other track that right here from Michigan, and this is supposedly Dogman track. I want you guys to look hard at it because it's obvious, right? Obvious. Guess it doesn't matter. Take a look at this. How obvious is this Bigfoot or this Dogman track? And this is getting passed around. Unfortunately, I've seen some reputable people who, who have brilliant minds, unfortunately are falling prey to thinking that this is a real Dogman track. And because can anyone answer why this is not a Dogman track? Mr. Robert Den Dover kind of has it. I don't know if it's bear, but it's just multiple tracks. Look, one track. You guys can't probably see my mouse, but there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tracks in that thing. And the claws at the top, the claws at the top are the animal moving off the track, and it's kicking the snow, dragging it as it's lifting its foot up. It's not claw marks. It's not some giant claw that's that creature would be, massive, 9-foot tall dog man. No, that's maybe a regular dog that stepped in that area a couple times, standing in there, and then it took off. It's very perplexing to me how people fall for this sort of stuff, who have experience and qualities and backgrounds that make that on paper look good, but in real research and looking at evidence and stuff, they're having trouble finding the details that would point them in the right direction, which is this is multiple tracks that are making up the silhouette of a single track with claw marks, right? The claw marks are just drag marks of the animal paws taking off from the area. I mean, you can see this in any tracks in the snow and stuff with an animal running and stuff. They will have the imprint, and then when they take off, they're catching the top of the snow of the imprint, and they're pushing it off and stuff. So it's very it's always interesting. Winter pops around when everyone starts seeing tracks and they're posting track pictures, and it's only a single track. There's no, hey, where's the track line, right? If there's a creature put its foot right there, where's the rest of the tracks? Texas Jack says eroded rabbit track, and they added the claws. I mean, that could be too. They could add it. It's eroded tracks of some type of animal, and these are, the claws are just trails of the paws moving or the animal moving off. It's as simple as that, and yet people think and spread this around. I've seen this being spread around by a couple different people in some groups, and it's fake. It's not real. I mean, take a picture of it, okay? Literally look up and start taking another picture. Take another picture. Where's the other track? My guess is the other track doesn't look like the other track. It looks like a bunch of dog tracks or animal tracks, and the pareidolia image of a track line doesn't exist because it's just a random pattern that makes you think that it's a giant wolf track or a dragon track. I mean, it doesn't have to be a wolf track. There's only 3 claws there. I mean, it could be a giant lizard. It could be a giant dragon. It could be a salamander. Yeah, I mean, probably, a lot of these people you will see will resort to faking stuff. And most of the time, it's not like they premeditative plan a hoax in months in advance, like mastermind it. Like these kind of stuff usually is like on the spot. And it's like, oh, so it's not really well thought out. It's not planned. And, it's usually just one picture and you can catch the sloppiness and stuff. Like the live show I did to explain Sasquatch Ontario's Bigfoot hoax of his Sasquatch selfie and the Bigfoot over the fence picture hoaxes and stuff. So if you watch that live show, we actually dive deep and explain how, in his own words, he fumbles up the stories and uses the same picture cropped for the Sasquatch for the selfie that is the same picture of the Sasquatch on the fence. Good to see everyone here. Nice to see you, Central Florida Bigfoot. And awesome job. Awesome stuff coming out from the corridor expedition that you guys did down there. Glad that everyone had fun and was safe, but mostly first and mostly. I'm sorry, I'm a little distracted by group chat that I'm in right now. Weird stuff. Weird stuff going in with looking at some of the evidence that we're trying to get technology wise. So I don't know. We'll see. Good stuff down there, and awesome. Even better that you guys actually experienced some squatchiness, and with people who like Max and stuff, and Brian and Chewy. Experiences they probably actually needed and stuff and help get them past this plateau of going without that kind of a stuff. Because when you experience this weirdness, the stuff you can't explain, then it really, man, it gets it just makes you put it in extra high drive, overdrive in your research and your questioning and everything. And it's always amazing when people who would want to experience stuff and really researching as to finally actually do. And you can tell, you can see it. You can see the excitingness, the adventure, and the blood pressure rising in them. So it's awesome to see all the videos coming out from the different people that were there. All right, so we actually got some evidence to show some potential stuff. I only got one. So basically, we went into this other area. So the area that we're going to is pretty massive and stuff. There's thousands and thousands and thousands of acres and different places different places to go. So we decided to hop around and check out the spot. And for the most part, didn't have really anything happen during the daytime other than getting a bunch of ticks on me, particularly me, and walking miles and miles on some trails and stuff. But at nighttime, we actually went to a particular area and tested out some new, not necessarily new equipment, but testing out equipment in a new way, basically. And it's going to be new equipment that I'm about to purchase. I think James is about to purchase too. But basically, they're these mics that look like headphone mics, headphone jacks and stuff. But they're basically really awesome and amplify the hearing all around you and stuff, kind of like a parabolic mic does, except for it doesn't have the parabolic dish to focus it, so you can hear basically everything around you, and you have two of them. And so our boy, our fellow member Tyler was on him, rocking him, and he was picking up the craziest of sounds that me and James couldn't hear at all. And he's describing, oh, I'm hearing this, and we were hearing some coyotes, we heard some odd things, and we did get 3 wood knocks. He heard 2 wood knocks with the special equipment, and me and James and Tyler heard 1 wood knock. And he is trying to get those sounds and stuff, but for some reason his sound file won't save on his computer, which is really weird. So that's why I'm getting distracted and stuff, because we're all kind of like, what? So I don't know what's going on there. That's the first time that's happened there. Video technical issues on his end with that, but we were running his thermal out there. It was a $1,500 thermal, and it was recording and stuff. And then we started hearing the knocks, and all of a sudden it shut off, and it would turn back on, but it wouldn't record. Kept pushing that record button, and it would not record at all. For some reason, it would not record, and which is weird. But so basically, we heard those 3 wood knocks, and Tyler was on those the special mic equipment, and was hearing a bunch of stuff. But really, that was really the only activity that we actually heard or experienced. And we, of course, got back to the car and camped overnight. And we set the auto recorders on the car, and me and James actually picked up the same sound, and we picked up something pretty interesting. And I'm about to play that for you guys. And the rest of the audio for all night, that was it. That was there's another section where there's a possible maybe of something around the car, but there's no other indication of everything. But this clip I'm about to show you guys, or listen to, has a pretty interesting implication. Again, this is possible evidence of Bigfoot's activity and stuff, because of course we didn't see the Bigfoot there, and all the other stuff that would make it very conclusive and stuff. But I think that all the stuff that we've been getting lately, especially with all the tree knocks, I think it is adding up, because it does take hands and something to pick up a stick or something and smack a tree and hear this, hear thuds and stuff like we've been showing. A deer are not going to pick up a stick and thud stuff, and even some deer possibly might have antlers still. They're not making thud wood knock sounds. Scraping of antlers on trees or on other deer antlers sound very peculiar and stuff. They don't sound like wood knocks thudding and stuff. Especially the 37 knocks that we got. Those are pretty consistent over a 2-hour period. That takes something with hands to do. So let me pull this up. Make sure I get this right and stuff. All right, so I already amplified this because you guys probably won't be able to hear it, and you guys can't see it right now. But this little line right here is the potential wood knock. So we're going to actually play it for you guys so you can listen to it first, and then I will unenhance it so you guys can see it a little bit better. So let me know if you guys can hear this and all that. should be loud enough. Oh, we redo that. All right. Could you guys hear that pretty good? I heard the knock. All right. I want to keep playing that. So you heard that. Yeah. Did you hear you hear the knock and then you hear something running away, which is what is very interesting about it. You hear a knock and then you hear the sound of something shuffling in the leaves away, which, you know, it's not proof positive of Bigfoot, but it's very interesting that you hear a knock by the car and you hear something running away. I mean, what animal is doing that? What is causing that? Right? Is that a little mouse? Chucking an acorn. At the car. You know, it sounds. It's a thud. It doesn't sound metallic. It doesn't sound like. All right, let me replay that and stuff, and then I will unamplify it, and we'll amplify it slowly. And but yeah, so basically, I'm gonna try to put this out, and hopefully, you guys can hear it when I usually clip this and put it in its own video. You guys seem like you guys were able to hear those 37 knocks a lot better than when I was playing them on the live stream. So I think that could be what's going on. Also, I guess I could have made a video or anyways, it's too late now. So all right, let's replay this again, and I might amplify it one more time for you guys. All right, so what we are going to do is we're going to actually take away this upper end of the sound, so we can try to listen to the movement running away. And so you hear the knock and something running away. So we're going to go over here, and we're going to go over to the filters, and we're going to go to the low pass filter, and which is going to get at the upper end. And I didn't mean to do that. Okay, so we want 25. So anyways, you go over here and you go over to low pass filter, and then you can go and see that we want everything from 2500 and above to kind of be silenced. You see the massive change in that. I think we go one more time, because I didn't really one more. All right, so let's play this and see how this sounds. Unfortunate part about that is it wiped out the sound of the creature moving away, which sucks. Let's try this. Nope. All right, so this is the original, how the spectrogram looks, and you can see the wood knock right there. So we're going to amplify it. We're going to amplify this again. And I do apologize if it gets a little loud for you guys. I'm not trying to blow you guys' eardrums off. The problem is there's bugs and there's the swamp and everything going off like frogs at the same time. I mean, to me, it's pretty clear as day. There's a knock and there's something it moves off, and you can hear it. And when I put it on the YouTube, I'm pretty sure that I will be able to make it to where you guys hear it. After, of course, thinking that not much really happened the next day and all that, looking on their audio recorder and finding that, which is the only thing that seemed to happen in the overnight. Hopefully you guys heard that a little bit better now, Robert. I tried to amplify it a couple more times. But again, with the bugs, the swamp, it might be hard for you guys at this point to listen to it. When I put it on the actual YouTube in its own video, I believe it should be better for you guys. But it's one of those things too that it seemed to happen a couple minutes after I fell asleep, because before that, and it happened an hour and 14 minutes after I started recording. So pretty much when we went to bed for the night. And for 30 minutes, I'm still up, and you can hear me. I think I'm laughing at some meme or something I'm looking at on my phone, and then turn the car on to get the heat on and stuff, because it was, again, 30 something degrees. And then at some point between about 45 minutes and an hour and 14 minutes, I probably fall asleep. And in an hour and 14 minutes, you have this knock and something that scuttles away, and you can hear the shuffling. So what animal, can make a knock, a pretty significant knock, to be able to be picked up on both audio recorders, and something scuffling away? If it was, what does that? What animal can do that? There's not really much animals. A lot of people say, oh, well, it was a squirrel. A squirrel can throw an acorn or a nut, can throw a nut down and smack a log, or smack a car, or throw in front of you and stuff. And squirrels are usually sleeping around midnight, 1 o'clock at night. So they're not really up throwing around or gathering nuts around 1 o'clock in the morning. They're not throwing it at people usually at 1 o'clock in the morning. If there was an acorn or a nut or some other falling out of a tree overnight, shouldn't the chances of it happening again overnight, shouldn't that happen more than once? So, or during the day, because we were out there, shouldn't we witness or experience it or find the evidence of something dropping on the car consistently? Um, Flying bugs, mosquitoes, and horse flies and all that still weren't out, especially at nighttime when it got cold again. So, it really begs the question of what did it? Did a raccoon pick up a stick and make a thud? I really want the explanation from you guys. Is what makes wood knocks? What a tree? The tree popped. That people like to throw that out there. A tree popped randomly just once, and then an animal shuffled away because it got scared. Yeah, I think the more and more we go to different places around there, and maybe back to that spot, especially when the ticks die down, uh, I think we're going to keep getting more and more interesting audio evidence. In fact, I'm about ready to purchase that piece of audio equipment, which I don't know what to call it right now, but basically they're microphones that look like earbuds that you can put into your recorders and stuff, and it's pretty cool. And so they work really amazingly well if you have them on you. And basically the setup is, you have your audio recorder, you have some headphones out there, and then you have this external mic system that you can walk around and listen to. And it pretty much was like actually it was really pretty damn good up there with like Robert Kreider's system that he has on, except for it wasn't a parabolic disc, and there was two mics, so you could actually listen to 360 degrees around yourself, which is pretty interesting. Which Tyler was saying, man, it's kind of hard to distinguish where exactly a sound's coming from because of your 360 degree field of hearing, but it's also better because if you have a parabolic dish, you're only focused on one area that you have to point to. So like if you're not pointing at the right direction, you could miss potential stuff that's happening over here. So, but we're gonna drop. They're like $100 for the mics, so I'm about to drop $100 on that. Drop another $100 on. I think we're gonna get either a Sony or a Tascam. Might end up getting both because one is going to be a long duration audio recorder system that's going to be set out there, and I kind of want something that's able to turn itself on at nighttime, and we're going to have an external battery pack to it, waterproof housing, either that mic system or its own mic system. I'm not sure yet, or I'm just going to buy two different mics and have one. Buy some air tags and stuff. I'm going to have the air tag in there, so be tracking it and stuff. So, and gonna put out 3 trail cameras, maybe 4 if I get the other one working. So we got some pretty interesting stuff that we're going. We're gonna do this audio hit up the audio project hard, and with the mic system that Tyler has, that I'm gonna get, and I think James is gonna get, and when all 3 of us are out there with these things on. We're going to literally be able to hear anything within 100 yards of us creeping in on us in any direction. It's really a game changer, honestly, experiencing that firsthand. And then when we have that same mic system set up in the long duration audio recorder that's set up outside 24/7, and as long, depending on how, when I check it and stuff, depending on how quick and easy I can reset it out and stuff, it's going to be out there for 24/7. We're going to try to get as much audio as we can all year round from as soon as we start getting it out there. And I think we're going to get some pretty interesting stuff. So, and if you guys want to help get more of these pieces of equipment out there, You guys can donate through YouTube, and there'll be some links in the channel later. But I'm excited because we're going to have the conference here. I'm going to be, I don't like to drop dates and, start advertising and, putting the link to buy tickets to the conference until I, actually have stuff ready to go and able to. So here in another month or two, we're going to have more information on the conference and stuff because we're kind of shopping around to make sure, might be at the same place here in Mason, Michigan, or it might be at a different spot. So, but by default, I think it's still going to be in Mason, Michigan, and we're going to shoot for, it might be late August or it might be October. I kind of leaning towards October, and but we have to see still. So, kind of doing a bunch of stuff right now, and be out in the woods again next week, going camping and stuff. So I don't know if we'll be going live and stuff. We didn't go live, didn't really have good service and all that. Let's go back over here to what Robert said of that video we should check out. But when I get the equipment and stuff, and we'll do some testing, and we'll show you guys, especially when we get. I have a good feeling about this year with the Lost Cryptids Conservatory. We've been getting some pretty consistent stuff. In the last couple months, and I really have a good feeling, especially about some of these new areas and the stuff that we're getting. I really think that we're going to be getting some pretty interesting audio evidence, especially. I think we're going to get some very interesting audio evidence. And physical evidence, actual stuff on camera and interaction, which is the main goal. To pretty much verify stuff that we're capturing from the air would be, to see the creature on with our eyes or getting on camera, of course. But I have a good feeling, and I think it's a matter of time, man. We're gonna hit up. I'm actually probably hit up a new area this next weekend. Another area with some sightings and stuff. Of course, there's a lot of sightings. You don't have to go. In Michigan, there are a lot of sightings and a lot of reports that are not found on the BFRO. They're not found on that Bigfoot mapping project and stuff. Although that is a great resource, he does have a lot of spots in Michigan that I was pretty surprised that he was able to track down and find and have information on. But the real number and mapped out stuff is a lot higher than what's on the mapping project. And there's around over 2,000 known reports that are categorized and cataloged by a good friend Val. And then my own mapping system has a little bit more than the Bigfoot mapping project. And when you look at the data and stuff, you can plainly see that the Bigfoot are pretty much in all the areas in between the towns and the big cities. They're in the main wood belts, the forests that are in lower Michigan, that are in mid Michigan, or in northern Michigan. They're on the coast. They're in the swamps. It's very surprising and stuff. All the counties in Michigan have sightings, and there are counties in Michigan that you wouldn't expect to have sightings that do have sightings, and that are recently too. So it just blows my mind. And I really think that the people who are looking for Bigfoot in the remote Pacific Northwest on the remote mountaintops are at the disadvantage because the Sasquatches are not confined to some of the areas that they're confined to in Michigan and stuff. And you literally have to run and chase a Bigfoot around a mountain in hopes of getting evidence. Instead of Michigan, it seems like you can hit up some of these areas, and you do it frequently enough, consistently enough, they will be around once in a while. And maybe if you're lucky enough and they like you enough, they might mess around and give you a little something to take back. I really think, though, that more and more these creatures choose who they want to interact with and choose who they mess with for a variety of reasons. But if you're an asshole out there drinking, drunk, trying hooting and hollering, and you're expecting to get an experience, and you go into these areas of known hotspots and stuff, and if there might be a reason why they're not interacting and doing stuff with you consistently, or you're not consistently getting stuff. And I really think it's because the Sasquatches are people watchers. They watch people, they understand people, they understand emotions of people, they understand probably body language to a certain degree. And I think they understand that there's certain people who are not good or will never be good. Nothing good will come from any interaction or to mess with them or even to scare them off and stuff. It might happen once and stuff, but I think there's a real indicator that these things seem to choose who they want to mess with in a group of people. When there's a group of 15 people, and it seems like they have opportunities to mess with each individual person or pairs of them, and they only choose to interact with one pair of two people. It really begs the question of, and it's consistently too. It could be, I think it's just people. I think there's a reason why they watch people. They watch people's windows. They watch TV. I mean, these things are not these dumb animals. I mean, they've literally probably have been watching TV and through people's windows since the very beginning. It's kind of frightening how many people don't close their curtains, even in the city. And you just, as you're driving by, you just look in and can see everything. To a Bigfoot, on a farmstead or homestead that there's no reason to, because there's no neighbors for a mile or so. Bigfoot could probably look through the window and learn a lot about a human family interaction and people and the TV and seeing all sorts of stuff. So I think they're actually experienced and experienced to a lot of stuff. They've been watching humans develop in technology and a way of life for generations now. And I think from the early 1900s, well, I mean, the white man has came here really all the way till now. It's a big leap in a bunch of technology and industries, the landscape, the way houses are built, the way homesteads and properties and towns function. And they've adopted into that, and they've learned and survived. Now in the modern times, they're not dumb. I think we've actually taught them a lot, through the industrialization of our continent. I think we've taught them how to survive in the modern times at a very steady rate for them to actually adapt to. And that's why there are so many sightings compared to past times. And there's sightings in places not only in Michigan but in other states that would never make sense because it's not the Pacific Northwest. It doesn't have the habitat that the official narrative would say that they need. These habitats can't support a bear population, but yet seemingly enough they're supporting a Bigfoot population and stuff. That with the amount of sightings and activity that I've experienced personally and my group have experienced in these areas in lower Michigan and mid Michigan and northern Michigan, in lower Michigan, especially where, there's, if it's truly a rare animal here in Michigan and there's a low population, we're getting pretty damn lucky, and we shouldn't be getting pretty lucky with an animal or with a low population with very few individuals in the whole entire state. It doesn't make sense. You can't, if there's only 12 Bigfoot in the state of Michigan, how is it that we seemingly over many years keep running into the same 12 individuals? It doesn't make sense. The amount of data and evidence that we've put forth it doesn't make sense that there's a low population here in Michigan. It makes more sense that there's actually a huge population that with groups and stuff in areas that are, people frequent all the time, and people take their dogs and people ride horses and ride bikes, and it's the family backyards, the back 40. It's, the i- in lower Michigan, it's farmland, it's wooded lots, there's no chunks of massive forest until you get up to mid Michigan, northern Michigan. Then you have, national parks, forests that go for miles and miles and miles, trail systems that are hundreds of miles, trail systems that go across the whole states, up north and across the states. I mean, up north, you see the habitat and you can see, oh yeah, there's no brainer. How could there could be stuff here? In the UP, it's obvious, but in lower Michigan, it's farmland. It could be like Indiana farmland, Ohio farmland with wooded lots and swamps, and it's nothing massively major, but yet there's massive amounts of sighting, historical sightings, a lot of people who are going out there and experiencing stuff. So I think there's a lot of them, and I think this is going to be a good year for not only the Lost Cryptids Conservatory, but for Central Florida Bigfoot, as it already has, and for all the other researchers who are actually out there doing the real work, passionate work with integrity, and not just going out there making up lies, um, fantasy, hoaxing, whatever other BS besides actual research. And you don't have to be 100% scientifically, accurate, and this and that. Evidence doesn't mean proof, but enough evidence that is spectacular it can be proof of it itself. And you don't need to be perfect. Everything doesn't need to be perfect, for the evidence to be good. You just need good enough evidence, and that is mainly something that is just jaw dropping, honestly. And that's what we really need, is something that's just jaw dropping, an experience, interaction, something that's really truly jaw dropping. And wood knocks and these tree knocks, even when this little knock, something running away, to me, it's awesome. It's gold and stuff. It's great information, but it's not going to prove anything. It's not undeniable proof. But I think it's just a little bit more piece that I can add to this puzzle. And, it's coming together kind of interestingly. With the thermal thing, Matt, yeah, maybe I'll have to mention that to my buddy. I read it earlier and then I didn't make a comment on it, of course. And I'm just remembering because when we were out there, his thermal was messing up, and it's $1,500 thermal, so it's not one of those cheap $400 ones. It's a damn good one, but maybe it needs a firmware update or something. Faster quality disc. I mean, it's pretty. I can't remember the resolution. I think it's 640p resolution is what I want to say. It's a 600 by 600 resolution, I believe, or 640. Like 640 or 620 by 640 or 620 or something like that. And it is definitely one of the higher quality ones. So I don't know. I mean, I think it's like 2 years old, probably almost 2 years old. So it might need a firmware update or something. Maybe it just needs to be connected and looked at, I guess. I don't know. It's just weird and stuff. And he's experienced his audio recorder malfunctioning in this other spot, which seems to have odd stuff happening. And he was pretty frustrated about that, especially since it works everywhere else fine, and then this one spot, it always messes up, and to the point to where he got kind of pissed about it. So it makes me wonder, what's going out there. Is it the land itself, the earth and its, you know, anomalies and stuff. There's of course a whole number of magnetic forces and probably a bunch of stuff we actually don't understand yet. Even though scientists want to believe everything I mean, we really don't. All right, but let's look at the name of the video. All right. All right, Robert Dendover, if you're still watching, what is the link to the video? Because you just said you just gave more background, but you didn't actually give. Oh wait, you did. Sorry, I thought you did. All right, so let's go look that up real quick. All right, we'll look up this video and see what it's about. See if it's maybe it's the real deal stuff. I know that Pat from Squatch Talk is doing his show and stuff, which is kind of sucks, man. Because if I wasn't doing my show, I think I'd jump on there and I'd throw the link out and stuff to him if he wanted to jump on too. But Pat, I think Pat has a pretty good mind and stuff. Not always agreeable on everything, but I think his approach is sometimes needed. Sometimes we need different approaches and different thoughts from different people, and sometimes it's not always agreeable from people, but sometimes I think it's needed and it's valued. So a little shout out to him, little shout out to Pat. All right. The whole Sawdust Beast Gang, did they go to LBL or was there a whole different other group that were doing the LBL thing? Because there's a big group that were there and with Ron Moorhead, or was that were there 3 different groups there? I'm a little confused. I don't know. There's Ron Moorhead was there. Was there one big group there? I'm not sure. Was the Sawdust Beast guys running it, or was this other dude running it? It just kicked me off. All right. Cedar Creek Bottoms, Farmstead Life. I wonder if this guy has I wonder if no, he doesn't look familiar. A lot of these homesteading groups a couple years ago were doing a bunch of Bigfoot videos, and they're seeing Bigfoot on their homestead or past encounters, and it was all a wave of them too. Like it was just this phase, this fad of homesteading Bigfoot stuff. Okay, back on the mountain, visiting LBL, couple stuff. Fireside chat. I don't recognize him. I think I'm not sure by looking at the guy. Bigfoot and blacksmithing. That was a year ago. Bigfoot and bees. I mean, homesteading is pretty awesome, honestly. If I was able to do that, had the time and a partner that wanted to do that also too, because you need a good partner to be able to properly homestead. You're gonna have to have a good partner to do it with you, and it's a lot of work. It's fun and it's probably passionate, but man, it's a lot of work. All right, so take a look at the end of the video where someone had a before and after. All right, I'll take a look at it first, and then I'll show you guys. quick. You said towards the end. So, what's the story on the LBL situation? What's the story on Ron Moorhead getting the audio of the roars or coyote howls that were Bigfoot howls or whatever? What's the story on that? Anyways, who was running that and all that? Really haven't been looking around, but I have heard that they got something, and I actually heard there was a lot of drama from the Mr. Wolf end of things, spectrum of stuff that a bunch of shenanigans, and then but that was a different stuff. So I'm not quite sure if like there was the same LBL group that Ron Moorhead was in, or if there was multiple groups at the same weekend doing this different stuff, which would be interesting because how close were they to each other if they were multiple groups, you know, because you might hear someone else making calls and then think that they're a Bigfoot, and if you don't recognize, you know, potentially that person or the voice, or if it's a person, you might get confused. I don't see the screenshot, but I might have to go slower. Oh, actually, it's right here at the very, very end. All right. All right. All right. I'll play this for you guys. With no sound, though, because I don't know. He might. I don't know. Last couple times, YouTube's been they didn't like me playing the Native American stuff, which I really fully understand because it is totally their culture and you know stuff like that. But at the same time, man, if I'm trying to show videos to you guys and information and spread it and do it the legal copyright way, spreading information and for you know news gathering purposes for the Bigfoot community and also giving my own opinions on these things, the First Amendment right, which we are all allowed to. I don't know. It's you know, it's gonna be an issue if I can't do all that. Didn't you know? It didn't have me an issue going after hoaxers and playing videos of them and having my own stuff, but they didn't. YouTube did not like me playing the Native American stuff and was like, no, totally not. I mean, they didn't give me a strike or nothing, but like I couldn't monetize videos and just they're just telling me, hey, you know, which is cool. Because the Turtle Lodge Native American reservation up there in Canada, they are actually making money off of that video. So you guys can watch the crap out of that and are supporting them, which I think is pretty sweet. All right, so let's get this up and running. Share with audio. Let me make it theater mode. All right, how does this look? I'm going to make this full screen so you guys can see it. All right. Give me a second. Let me okay, so you guys can see it. All right. All right, so here's the creature right here. With the blue arrow that indicates obviously there's a creature right there, right? So let's take a look at this. And as the video plays, there will be a comparison shot of no creature right there with, of course, a blue circle. So what do you guys think about this? We'll go back and forth. So here we have something dark right there, as you can see. And then the comparison shot, which is not exactly the same exact angle, but a good enough job that you can see the X. And I would assume is the same spot. It looks like the same spot. Although the angles are much, 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 much different. Much different. So as we're going back and stuff, what do you guys think? To me, I'm gonna say that the only problem is, when you go look at this, you need the exact angle because that could be a shadow, could be something there, could be another person, could be the dude's own jacket that he just sat there. But so when you have it from this angle, that tree is blocking. If there's a stump right there, there could be a stump right there blocking it. So it's not the perfect comparison, but it is the right area. I can't zoom in. I thought I can zoom in. Yeah. Does that zoom in for you guys? Yeah. Sweet. You know, pretty much it's just inconclusive because it's not good enough quality picture of detail of anything. It's just a blob squatch, which maybe it's something there. What other evidence does he have to indicate that there was something in the area? Was he have an activity? Does he have a history of activity in the area? A bunch of questions. I guess I could watch the video and find out. Um, it's one of those things where it's even if it was a Sasquatch right there, it's not good enough to determine anything because it could be a bear, it could be a wolf, it could be a person, it could be a coat, it could be a costume, it could be a shadow, it could be a stump. You know, um, you need film, and you need the creature moving, and you need it to have the locomotion that it can tell it's not a bear or it's not a wolf or the creature does something that is totally abnormal for a bear or other animal to do. Picture, a single picture is worth 1,000 words, but it's not worth much in the Bigfoot community when you're trying to prove or get evidence for Sasquatch, unless it's I've shown a picture of Val's who, to me, it's really, really good, but it's just a picture. It's not fluid. Even though you can see facial features and stuff, it's a picture. Pictures are, in 2024, with AI and stuff, pictures are just, are pretty much obsolete, I think. I don't think this is AI or anything, but, with AI, pictures are pretty much, unless you have a full facial 10 feet away of a Sasquatch, multiple pictures of it doing something. I don't think pictures are really going to be able to do much unless you have the perfect shot, and it's on a really good camera and, you have a couple shots. So, yeah. I mean, it looks like something's there, but at the same time, you have the shadow right here. At the same time, there's a little dark shadow right there. I mean, why can't that be a Bigfoot? You know, if that was just a little bit darker, why can't that be a Bigfoot right there? It's a little bit more brown. It's not black. So honestly, I think I need to watch the video and have to look at the guy because if he seems like the guy who's a hoaxer or has issues or is doing it for the fame or views, subscribers, or whatever, that could be some indications that it's might be fake or just nothing's there. You know. So, I'm not sure. It's inconclusive. But thank you for bringing that up, Robert, because it's always good to check out evidence and stuff. And maybe this guy can get some more evidence or has more activity that he could potentially capture, and it might add up to, that maybe that possibly could be something. It might add and make it lean towards the direction with, some audio evidence, maybe some physical evidence, and more just more interaction or stuff that he can get. Stuff that you can get on camera, stuff that you can capture. Because if it's going to happen and it's repeatable, well, then you have repeatable chances to get evidence caught on audio or video or just experiencing it with witnesses. If you don't capture stuff on audio and stuff that can't be presented, the next best thing is have someone else witness it for you, because that's why I love going out with James and the other crew members, because when they experience stuff with me, it's not just me experiencing it and telling you guys a story. If we don't get it on evidence, it's like, okay, I can, James can tell it, or Tyler can talk to you about it, and you guys can listen and watch them. And I think it adds to the experience. If you can't get any evidence recorded, having a witness with you is probably the next best thing. And check out some of the stuff coming out of the corridor. I think having multiple people experience stuff, and it's a good example of what happened down there is what's needed and stuff, and it helps verify what's really going on to the people who are experiencing it and the people who are, they're telling it to. And it's not just, well, maybe, Johnny heard something, maybe, he was by himself, maybe he heard something, maybe it was misidentified, whatever. But when you have Johnny and John out there, you have two Johnnies out there, and they both hear the same stuff, it makes it more credible. And honestly, I think it's better. So that's what's needed. And it's going to happen. I have a good feeling and stuff. So what are we at? An hour and a half? Not too bad. Kind of flying by, it seems like. So next week we should have hopefully the 3 knocks that Tyler picked up on his audio recorder. And then we should have those next week. But if I go in the woods, I don't know if we'll do a live show. I'm not sure. It just depends on happening. I'm probably going to go Friday night, and depend on activity and stuff. I don't know. Just depends. I don't like to give guaranteed stuff out right now, because life changes, things happen, plans change, and especially when you're out there and you're getting infested with ticks and stuff, that's never fun. All right, I think I'm gonna throw the link out in chat if anyone else wants to come on and hop on for a bit. Talk about pretty much whatever cryptid related Bigfoot stuff. As long as you're cool and stuff, and you're friendly or just respectable. I mean, any asshole can come on here, as long as you don't dropping F-bombs every other word. And maybe if you have issues and stuff, maybe you can have regress them politely and stuff. We can have discussion there. I did kind of mention that about the LBL thing with Josh Turner drama and stuff. I checked up on big old Wolf Boy, because I had a feeling that he was there was some more shit going on. And oh man, did I expected this, because that's just how it is with Josh and over there. Is they're always in war. There's always drama with someone else, and he's pretty mad and stuff now. And apparently old Clough Boy's buddy turned on him or whatever. They're mad at each other, and he's foaming at the mouth. So it's interesting, because you have these characters these actors who present themselves as more than they are, as the master storyteller who's imparting his wisdom upon all of you, who only he can do. I find it comical these people sit on these pedestal, and especially some of these storytellers or the people who do these podcasts, and they talk about information that you can Google, and they did Google 5 minutes before this podcast started, and then they just talk to you about it, and then they're an expert. I think an expert is actually someone who actually goes out and does the stuff, goes out in the dark and goes after the stuff, and not just, there's nothing wrong with sitting at a computer and learning everything you can, but you can only do so much, right? You can't you're not physically experiencing it till you go out there. And I think we see a lot of armchair quarterbacks, armchair experts who read stories or watch YouTube videos, and then they learned something, and now they're the master of it. And Mr. Wolf's a very good character of that. And what more can you say? He's just gonna go on another rant, bitching and raving and threatening people to do this and do that, and more of the same. So, as I expected and told all of you, nothing would change on his end. He would just find some other people to be at war with. So, all right. So if he wanted to come on, he could jump on and talk about it or whatever. It doesn't matter. Links in chat. Come on, talk about whatever. It doesn't matter. It's a chill stream, so let's have some fun and stuff. We had a pretty good discussion with Ryan, not last week, but 2 weeks ago, with the Native American misconception. Pretty much the conclusion of the little mini live series that we did about Native American misconception and the Bigfoot narrative. And we pointed out some. I appreciate that. I appreciate that donation, Janice Blake. I appreciate that. That will go directly to funding the equipment, because here, when we get money here, it goes straight to equipment. And right now, what that is funding is going to get the audio mic set up. I have to. I don't know what they're called, but basically they're just microphones, and they're awesome. And when we get these things hooked up, man, it's a game changer. It really is, because I was thinking about buying a parabolic mic, or several $100s worth of microphone, of just a microphone, not even not the recorder and everything else. But with this, they're $100. With that setup, man, it's crazy, because you're getting the same quality of sound from $500 to $1,000 setup. So to me, it's like, holy crap, you can have a nice setup for pretty cheap. You're still gonna spend $250 for a new audio recorder and the microphone, and plus the waterproof housing and stuff, PVC setup, and blah blah blah, and air tags, and but it's gonna be worth it. I think it's gonna be worth it, especially if we get it out there, start recording long duration stuff, and start getting what I keep thinking is all the information and data that we have to go through and look at, and then I look at and put it to you guys, and it's a task, but I think the amount of information and data and potential evidence we're going to get from it's going to be worth it. And once we get one setup out there, and I think we start getting some good stuff, and you see the high quality, we're going to be getting some more out there. And with a couple more donations like that, maybe we can have a dozen out there running all year round with a dozen air tags in them, because if a Bigfoot takes the audio recorder housing and runs with it, we can have the air tag data showing it. and tracking it, of course, so we can find it. Or some random hillbilly takes it, we can track it and find it. So we got big plans and stuff, big plans. We're launching new equipment. We're going to be doing the conference, the Michigan Bigfoot and Dogman Conference, the second annual conference. And another month or two, we're going to start throwing the flyers and information out and start getting that pumped out. So you guys can start buying tickets for that. It's going to be same price as it was last year. It's going to be $30 online and $35 at the door. Vendors, there are limited spots right now. It's $40 for a table, so it's only really $10 or $5 more to get a vendor table. So it's really not that much just to get a ticket and to get a table. If you guys want to sell Bigfoot or cryptid related stuff, there is a limited amount of tables, and I'm only going to accept 4 right now. So until I figure out if we're going to get a bigger space, the same space, we're going to have a different layout if it's the same space. So, but right now there's only going to be 4 spots available. So if you want to get a vendor spot, contact me, because they're going to go up, and I'm also going to be throwing a flyer out to different groups and stuff that are vendors and stuff. So once I drop the link to there's going to be a lot of people who are going to try to respond and stuff. And as long as it's not a crazy ass storm the day of the conference, I think we're going to have a much better turnout and have a grand time like we did last time. I think we're going to try to have the food truck there again this year stuff. I think they were happy and excited, so I'm going to contact them and get that going once we have the date set up. And then once I have the date set up and everything planned and booked, then I will get the ticket sales going for you guys, because I'm not going to sell tickets to something that is not set up. Because I've experienced it before with other people. They start selling the tickets first to pay for the event. And it's kind of that Ponzi scheme of, well, pay for this first and then shuffle the money here and hopefully everything works out. And, that's just stupid. And that's what the problem is in the community and conferences. It's making money and doing this. The conference that we're putting on is spread the information that there are things out here in the Michigan woods, not only Bigfoot, but there are dogman. There's these wolf that, what I experienced, this wolf ran across the road and stood up on its hind legs and ran like a person. There are the things out in the Michigan woods that the awareness needs to be spread. And I think the conference is a great way to do that for the public, and also to network with locals and to bring about people who want to come and camp out with us too, because we're going to have the conference. We're going to go camping out in a Bigfoot's hotspot. And I'm not sure where it's going to be at exactly as of now, but it's going to be in a place where there's activity. I can tell you that much. So if you want an opportunity to camp with us, it's not going to cost you anything. It probably just cost you a camping spot, which is like $20 a night, and your own food stuff, of course. But we're not going to charge anyone to go camping out with us and stuff. So a pretty good opportunity to have a nice conference and hang out with Lost Cryptids crew, go out in the field with us, go camping and stuff. Even if you can't go out in the field, just being around camp and stuff. You're going to be in a spot where potential of activity around camp is pretty high too. So, and especially, we're working these different areas, and we're trying to get better and better evidence, and we keep working these areas and stuff. I think they're going to get used to us a bit better. They're going to open up to us a bit better, and it's eventually going to lead to some good, solid evidence. And maybe if you guys were out there with us, you might be able to experience it too. And I can't guarantee it's always going to happen every single time we go out, but we're putting the consistency in, and it's going to pay off. And I know that for a fact because it's a numbers game, you know. More times you go out there, one of the times it's going to happen. And one of these times it's going to be off the charts. It's our job to be ready, to get it on your camera, to get it on your audio, to get it on thermal, to get it on your night vision, and any piece of equipment and all pieces of equipment that we have. Try to get the stuff captured. Put it out for you guys. And you know, we don't charge anything for it. You know, we take donations, but that's it. We don't charge. You know, we're not behind a paywall. We don't charge people to see our content, stuff like that. I'm not begging you guys for money to write my vampire book. I'm not begging you guys to money to not begging you guys money to go sue other people who are making me butthurt over drama that they're saying like the other people are doing right now, like Mr. Big W, Big Wolf. But you know, with donations and stuff, they're used responsibly for equipment. That is the goal, not production value, and not for getting a better camera to make my face look a bit better on here. Like that's at the very lowest end of stuff that money would be used for. So when you hear people saying, "Oh, we're going to buy new equipment for the studio, and we're going to go out there and get stuff done," and it's like, where's the priorities at in these channels? Where's the priorities at? Is it the research? Is it the entertainment and production value that seems to be going up and up and up? You know, is it the research that they seem to be focusing on, or is it make a better entertainment channel, a better product for the content, a better production, a little bit better intro and stuff like that? And to me, that's good and it's needed and it's cool, but that's nothing. That's like you're playing a character, you're trying to be a TV personality. That's what you're trying to be. And you see that with a lot of these channels, these story channels, I just read an email sent to me. Wow, it was the best Bigfoot story I ever heard. I have to share it. It's like there's no credibility to that. There's no proof or verification on any of it. And to me, it's just bullshit. It's nothing. It's like, to me, all the stuff that's important is in the woods. It's actual research. It's going after dark and listening and trying to watch stuff on thermal and figure out what's going on in the actual environment that these things are, and not on the computer and reading other people's stories and regurgitating them out of my mouth and then thinking I'm a badass because I regurgitated the story well. I was I had a feeling that Josh, big old Wolf Turner, was having some issues or bitching about something, and it's been a while since I watched him and stuff. Actually, since Brent made his video, and then he made the other video and stuff, and then I had a feeling that he was having some issues, and he's having some issues, all right, but he was gloating about himself, boasting. He was ragging on real researchers, saying that we're out in the woods, LARPing and just role playing and just Bigfoot and doing redneck shit out in the woods. And I've never heard someone describe themselves in such a way as Wolf did, as he described himself, that he's a master storyteller. He's masterful at it, right? And he's so good that he's better at telling you an encounter story than the actual person who witnessed the encounter. Josh thinks that he is such the master storyteller. He's so gifted. He is so good at what he does that he literally said that he can tell a story better than the person who actually witnessed the Bigfoot encounter or the Dogman encounter or whatever. And that, to him, that is more valuable than the real witness telling it because, well, he's not really good at talking, or, he's not really good at going live and speaking in front of people, or he's not good at articulating his sentences well enough. And so it sounds like shit. So the audience don't like it. To him, he thinks that matters. What matters is the witness information. So when the witness tells the story, even if it sounds like shit because he can't really talk, the emotion that you can get from that is data. The facial expressions that you can see from the witness as he tells the story is data. The tonal, you can see if he has emotions going on, so PTSD. All these are data that you can only gather from a witness telling the story and watching the witness tell the story. Like the micro expressions that he has when he gets to a really part that is actually scaring him, that he's remembering. You can look at a person and figure out and kind of tell, like, oh wow, he's actually going back and reliving it. He's actually, seems like he experienced something real. Or you could figure out if that person is lying, telling a bullshit story, making up stuff through his facial expressions, through his tonal linguistic cues and other stuff. So this idea that any random bimbo, just because they talk better, can tell you and account a story and it has more value than their actual witness to it, is some of the most bullshitest things I've ever heard. So, and that is some high horse mentality right there. I mean, from a witness telling the story, no matter how they sound, you will always gather real data and evidence from that than compared to listening to Wolf regurgitate that story and shift things so he, can talk and tell it better in his own version, which is usually, he tells stories in first person, like he's the person, like he's the character. It's pretty easy to make up stuff as you're the character. So I found that pretty interesting. He said that, and then he was dropping some indications that he was dealing with drama, and from Mr. Cluffy, the guy who went after me, because I, made some video on Josh Wolf Turner. The same guy who went after me, busting my balls for that, is now going after Josh, and they're at war, and it's a big old clusterfuck. How'd that happen? I thought it was us. I thought it was everyone else besides Josh. I thought it was everyone else. I thought the war was over with. I thought if I didn't do anything and Brent didn't do anything and all these other people didn't do anything, it would stop. Like I said, it would never stop because that's what it's about. In fact, Brent's first video that he took down, the real video of who Josh Turner was an excellent video for those who've seen it. Unfortunately, he took it down because he talked to Josh on the phone and was able to persuade him enough to, they're cool, which is great. That first video was so spot on, though, that it was exactly who Josh was and exactly what he does. The second video, I very much disagree with, and I think the evidence that you keep seeing from, all you got to do is just tune in to any of the live shows, and he starts bitching within a couple minutes or in between the story, so it's pretty easy to skip around. It's that continued anger, frustration, and bitterness that he displays and shows, and he puts on everyone. He says the same stuff about everyone that he's going to war with. He says the same exact slogans, as they say. It's the same exact rhetoric. He brands everyone as the same way, that you're angry, you're jealous, you're bitter at him because of his success, and he doesn't understand anything else and why, and maybe it's just him, but yeah, I don't know. So if someone else wants to come on, the link's in chat. You don't have to be scared. Josh can come on, or anyone come on, doesn't matter. But I do have a little video of oh, that was Friday. I was like, I got a notification on my phone from Friday. I do actually have a video of him ranting and raving, uh, calling out some people that I think is kind of hilarious because it just shows that he was always claiming that this stuff doesn't affect him and isn't an issue, and he's not angry and stuff. But you can see the anger and stuff coming from this, and I think we're gonna show it, even though he threatens anyone who makes videos of him. In this video, he threatens to do stuff. So it kind of made me like, I'm just gonna do the video just because you said that, because I don't think you really understand the First Amendment right and the actual commentary that people can use from your public videos off YouTube, where they can take and then make comments and commentary on what you're saying and what you're presenting on your show, because it's a public YouTube video open to the public domain for public consumptions and public opinion. So there's different there's a lot of stuff going on. So I think we're gonna play this video because it sums up what's going on. I think he named some names. Which is just more war, right? This ongoing war, and he is always the victim or the center hero or comic book villain or giant or Thanos or whatever the fuck he thinks he is. I don't know, Batman. I try to get this over here and just because I show this little clip and stuff, I'm sure he's gonna freak out and start calling me bearded lady and say that we're at war again and all this and all that and freak the fuck out over nothing. Which is not. I'm merely pointing out that this just utter bullshit that the community deals with, and it's not just the paranormal community and Bigfoot community. It's all of it. That you have these people like the example we're about to show, and others who really, I believe, prey upon the innocence and really naive people in the community who just want to learn, who just want to who are fascinated by the mystery. And you have people who will, write vampire books and are experts on every single topic they talk about. They're experts on vampires, werewolves, aliens, uh, ancient religions, cults, uh, Chinese towns, whatever. Like, I know you just spent an hour or 5 minutes on Google reading this and you're just regurgitating it. It doesn't mean you're an expert on the stuff that you just read. Like, it's information and stuff that you learn. But I mean, to present yourself as this constant expert of authority on the paranormal front because you sit on your ass and you look at Google and then you regurgitate the information through a camera that people are, what's that term? Uh, where you think you're just so much more skilled and experienced than what you really are, and then when you get into the reality of things, you find out that you're not. I can't remember what the term was called right now, but that's what I think is going on for the most part with a lot of people, is that the reality is that they're about 300 pounds, 200 pounds above what Rambo would weigh, and they sit behind a desk all day and don't do nothing. And then think they're experts because they read some articles or they watched a YouTube video or they read some books that other Bigfoot researchers wrote, and those people actually went out in the woods. Now they're experts and stuff. And to me, experts are people who busting their ass out in the woods, covering miles and actually doing work, physical exertion and stuff. Not 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 some person who's behind a computer all the time and then gives you their expert opinion on books and stuff. It's very valuable. There's a place for it. There are some knowledgeable people in the community that are bookworms and all that, but at the same time, you can only go so far. That can only take you to the doorstep of the woods, and you're going to take you in the woods, and you're not going to. I mean, really, all that's good to have, but it's until you experience the stuff firsthand when you're at the woods after dark in the middle of the night and you start really experiencing stuff. That's when you're not going to be thinking, holy fuck, on chapter 5 in the book on page 355, there's this explains the situation. We should do this, and this. No, in the moment, you're trying not to shit your pants and you're trying to have your brain function, pick up the camera and get evidence and do stuff. That book smart stuff isn't really helping. Experience helps. Physical interaction and being in there over and over and over and over again helps you maintain focus and not be scared in those situations to become better. It takes several times of experiencing stuff at nighttime or whatever before you're like, oh, I gotta get my phone and get going. You hear a lot about it of a lot of people. You can read a book on how to be a tradesman all you want. You can read and study how to be a tradesman all you want. But when you get on that job site and you get underneath that old man and he's swearing at you, calling you dumb until you do it his way, the right way, you find out there's a lot more things going on than what's in the books, and that's just the reality of it. All right, so I got the video. I thought I had the video up ready. I guess I have to re-download it. But I think that's what's going on mostly with a lot of people. They think they're experts on stuff that they are not really experts on, and they are Billy Badass when they're not. And then you got hoaxers, you got people who are faking it on purpose, variety of people. And then you have the people who just trying to go out there and get the real stuff, just go out there trying to film and honestly just going about it. And they're valued. And I just ran into this other group. I can't remember their something tracking. They're tracking experts, right? And they're buddies with Mr. Wolf. They're tracking experts, and they have I have to go back, but they have a picture of supposedly a Bigfoot cloaking, and I am pretty positive, I'm about 90% sure it's from a phone app that is showing the rippling effect of water. And it's an edited effect that they put on a picture that it would be hoaxing. And I believe that they're claiming it as Bigfoot is cloaking. So I have to go back and rewatch and make sure that's what they said and not that it's a representation of the cloaking. But they're claiming it's the actual picture of the cloaking, and I'm 90% sure it's an edited ripple effect from some random video editor. And these people
paranormal really, channel and leave us
get into 1 minute. You can see already he's pretty pissed. They get into the tracking and going slow and trying to go from shadow to shadow in the daytime like the Bigfoot do. So you take an hour to move probably 100 yards, maybe an hour for 100 yards, trying to stay in the shadows and avoid the birds who will make, alarm calls. And I mean, that is true and stuff, but some of the terminology and explanations and stuff, to me, is borderline fantasy storytelling, character hero of a tracker, you know. Kind of like you know, Mr. Patrick Vaughn, the third generation tracker, you know. You know, a lot of the people who claim to be trackers, I'm not a tracker. I can track an animal track that looks, you know, but you know, I'm not going to be able to tell you this, and you know, it crapped out a bean turd a half hour ago before it made this track. But I'm proficient enough to look at tracks and follow tracks and identify the tracks between different animals. But you know, some of these tracking experts, they're what the stuff that they're talking about doesn't even make sense, and you can tell most of the times they don't have the experience. They aren't able to teach you. If they're a tracking expert, they should be able to teach you and not make up fantasy bullshit. Or, you know, watch a 5-minute video on YouTube of how to track 101. All right, so Mr. You know, maybe he'll make a video about me. Maybe he'll threaten me like he just does in the video and stuff. Maybe I'll get a letter in the mail. We'll see. I don't think so because he doesn't know my address and all that. And I don't think so because I'm not doing what he claims that other people are doing. So let's hear what he has to say. Because remember, this is in his mind, you know, he is a head leader of the paranormal community and of the Bigfoot community. He is a provider of a wealth of knowledge and information that only he can provide, you know. For some reason, he just regurgitates other people's encounters and stories, but because it's regurgitated from him, it somehow has more value and something else. He doesn't say that in this video, but he said it in a different one, and I should have clipped that one out because it's so arrogant, and it really seems it really makes him. It exposes what he really thinks about himself, and he thinks that he is this master storyteller that is liquid gold that comes out of his mouth. And he literally says he is better at telling the stories and it is more valuable to him to everyone else than the actual witnesses if they would just tell you on camera and stuff. And we've already explained why that's not true. So let's hear some more shenanigans. Let's hear what's going on. Let's figure out why he's all getting all cranky.
Alone, go away. We got everybody out of that group and let.
I don't know if you guys can hear that or if it's my end. I think it's me. Yeah, it's just me.
Let us be a paranormal channel and leave us alone. Go away. We got everybody out of that group and left it to you because it's your group. And I cannot leave my people in that group because if I do, you can say and do whatever you want. You already took the other group because you're a petty person. That's why. So you keep that group. You do what you got to do. You have it. And when I told Clough that this was going to get worse, this is what I meant. He's like, sounds like a threat to me. Yeah, it sounds like a threat because everything sounds like, whatever it is, I think I see, becomes some debased threat to me. That's you, Clough. That's you. Everything is a threat. Everything. So you can try to build some sort of case like I'm a monster. Remember, you got to take the giant down. Because up to this point, you've done nothing but make character assassination videos, which you could be sued for, too, by the way. And I hope they do. I hope they sue the shit out of you. You make one about me, and I promise you, on the Holy Bible, I'm going to sue you for everything. You make anything about me. Not only is it going to be a cease and desist, you're going to be breaking that, you are going to be sued. I'm saying it right now in front of the whole freaking world. I'm going to sue you all. And just because you're in Germany, Phil, don't mean you can't be sued either. Threatened with legal action? No, sir. A promise. It is not a threat.
he's a little cranky now. He's a little upset. He wasn't he's a little upset. He's upset, and you heard it from him. If anyone makes a video about him, anyone, our ass is grass. We're gonna get a letter. I'm gonna get fucking sued. I guess that's. Am I expecting something? Sounds like he's having some issues with other people he's at war with. I don't know. This is the master storyteller who can't who has Facebook groups being stolen from him. If you're the one who created the group, no one can steal it from you, right? You add, hey, oh well, bro. I think that this is the same stuff that has always happened, and this is the same stuff we can continue to see from Paranormal Roundtable and the drama and stuff. And he's extra cranky. It seems like because this guy is gonna make a video and maybe have some extra juicy stuff and text messages and real world stuff come to light where I think he mentions in that person lived with him and stuff and all this stuff. So yeah, I think Mr. Josh Turner, Mr. Wolf, is a little scared of some of the stuff that's going to come out, and he's threatening and suing. He probably will go to court. I don't fucking know. Who knows? Probably will. And I think it's stupid. I think it's hilariously stupid that this is what it is. You have war. He's so frustrated. His family is so like are in such desperation that he's even threatened to shut down the show, his whole channel. And I think he actually just claimed that he's not going to do his conference now either because of the guys threatening him, and he feels scared, and his lawyers are telling him this and all that. It's like, wow, okay, well, sounds like you're not man enough just to do what you want to do and do it. Yeah. Especially since you run a security company, but you're too scared to put on an event because of one random guy. Because you can't have etiquette security? I don't know. It doesn't matter. I have a guy threatening me. He says he's going to show up at my conference. He's going to walk it through the door. He's not going to pay for anything. He's going to walk up straight to me, and he's going to just run over me and do whatever he wants at the conference. I said, fuck around and find out. That's what I said. I don't need anything else besides that's what's going to happen. If you're going to do something, you're going to find out. So when you get threatened by people and you do stuff, you don't need to call my lawyer up. If the person actually shows up to do something, then guess what? You have the right to defend yourself. It's as simple as that. Any bimbo who makes threats and actually shows up to your house on your piece of property, especially, it's not a good situation for those people. So I've been threatened many times. I've had stalkers and people message family members and this and that and stuff. And you know what you do? You can block them. They go away. So this issue of war and all this is just, whatever. And he's, making claims that he's calling everyone. He's calling all his subscribers and stuff, and it's and his friends are turning on him. Friends for years. One phone call with this guy, his friends for years are now turning against Mr. Wolf. Well, maybe there must be something, some reason. There might be some reason. I don't know what you are. I don't know what you are referring to right there. Iron Guard LL is showing as inactive. I'm not quite sure what you were referring to right there, Miss Janice. I know you kind of were a part of all the fiasco and war with Mr. Josh Turner and stuff. He doesn't like you and has issues and all that. And I still don't. I still don't know what you mean by this. What is the? What is that? What is that? Who owns that, or what is that? LLC. I know he has issues with a lot of people and had issues years and years and years now, so it's not surprising. But I thought that was kind of hilarious. I had a feeling that you know uh, that he was dealing with stuff, or he was saying some shit, or he was doing something. And my spider senses are usually correct. The guys would tell you. And I'm hearing stuff in the woods, and my gut feeling is like, hey, you know what that sounds like? That sounds like this person. And then a little bit later, we see that person. It's like, oh, was that you? That was you. Oh, yeah. I was right. I am kind of pretty good about that intuition and, having these feelings. And when I go investigate, oh, yeah, that's kind of correct. Kind of right. Actually, so much so that I got kind of spookily correct, in this one subject matter where I had feelings about stuff, and when upon investigating, it kind of was correct. So, his security company he's listed. I have no idea what that all is and stuff. I have no idea. Yeah, I'm not sure. Um, Maybe I'm not sure. Oh, I get what you're saying. So those are his two businesses that he's filed, his LLCs and stuff, that are both showing as inactive. I'm not sure. If he's running it and it's an LLC and it should be active and stuff. I know he claims he's running a security company. He has guys over there, and I don't see why he isn't. I think he has a history of actually doing all that stuff. So, oh well, I guess I'm not sure. I thought he was dealing with the bums and stuff that were. Anyways, I'm smiling and laughing because it's so stupid. It's just hilariously stupid how this guy acts and presents himself as a leader of the community, and because he wants to bring the community together, and shit on those who he doesn't like. And then if you don't, like, he made claims in this rant, if you're friends with Cliff or you're friends with this other guy, we can't be friends with no more. I don't care if you barely associate with him or how much. It's not, I have to distance myself from you. That's what my lawyers are telling me. So, like you said, you better be on Josh's side or you're against him. There is no middle ground. So, and this is just more of the hash. This is kind of like an update. This is just like, this is the same Josh that's always in war and constantly in drama. If you watch Brent, tall ones, darks, first one, which he took down, was a great example of actually what Josh does and how he is, an exactly great example. He took the video down, but Josh is still doing the same exact stuff, and it's been what, a whole month or two since I put my videos out, and he went all freaked out on me and calling me names, and it settled down after Brent did his little apology video thing. Seemed like everything was cool. He wasn't foaming at the mouth at us anymore, or at me, but he's foaming at the mouth at someone else. He's foaming at the mouth over this. And he's attacking other people who he claimed he had peace with. Now he's saying, "Oh, the guys are talking shit," and it's funny because I've been watching the other guy, one of them. I don't know. I don't watch all of them. I don't know. Fucking half the time he doesn't even name people. But I know he claimed this one guy's talking shit about him, and I haven't heard it yet. So it seems like there's more bullshit being spread on his end. So And we're going to continue from that. So what the real community needs is not hero, is not some master storyteller, is not some master guru guy. It's not the tolerant community where everything's accepted, and if your fantasy, where your fantasy includes everything, and it's acceptable by all. No, enough of the bullshit. There's some con artists, there's some actors, there's some fake ass people, there are liars, there are fantasy people, there are great good people who are innocent and naive, who are just taking pictures of bushes and they think they're Bigfoot in there and they're having fun and they're making friends. There are nefarious people, there are sharks and predators who all they see is money. I want to make a living off this. I want to retire off this. When you hear those words, usually, and they're not out there researching and they're just podcasting and doing, production on channel. When you hear those words, I want to make a living off this, that is a good indication that they're all for the money. Anything for the money, the content, the story, the entertainment, not research, not finding evidence, not actual stuff that to me matters. I think to most researchers that want to find the truth and present evidence to light and want to figure out what the fuck is going on, matters. To them, it's production value, more stories, more encounters. I need more people on. I don't care if they're hoaxers. I want them on. I want to tell their story. I want to go out to where they're at. I want to, do this and do that. And it doesn't matter the truth, the fantasy. It doesn't, it's about money. So when you hear those words, oh, I'm going to make a living off this. And it's like making documentaries, production value, and doing podcasts. It's something's not right. That's a red flag. I would love to make money off this all year round. But the only thing is I would be in the woods all year round. I would love to make a living and buy a remote cabin in the middle of buttfuck nowhere and literally have access to be in the woods 24/7. That's the idea. If you're making a living off Bigfoot and you can retire off normal life, you should be in the woods where the Bigfoot are 24/7. Not in front of the computer doing the podcast 24/7, right? Asking for more money. You should be in the field, in the woods, in the swamp. You should be as close as you can get to the target species that you're supposed to be looking for, right? Because now you have all the time you can have. You're making all the money, right? You're making your living off Bigfoot. Then why aren't you out in the woods looking for the Bigfoot if you're now able to do it full time? So when you hear people say that and all they do is podcasts and productions and they don't go research and they don't do any of that, that's some huge red flags. That is massive red flags. And that's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with people with, they see Bigfoot and what they hear is $2 billion industry that's growing. $2 billion industry that's growing. It's probably going to be $3 billion here pretty soon. Maybe the next 5 years, maybe more. It's going to get more and more and more. You watch. It's going to get more and more and more. And then, people are going to, people already do charge you to take you out, pay me however amount of money, and there's no regards for safety. There's no integrity. There's nothing. There's just money. All I see is money. I could do that. I could have done this years ago. Charge people for money. I have an integrity and an obligation, for one, to make sure people are safe, to make sure it's done legally, because guess what? In most states, anywhere where there's public woods and campgrounds and stuff, you actually have to have a permit from the state and from the federal government to get paid commercially to take people out on federal or state land, to get paid to do that, so it's illegal. All these people getting money and taking them out to, the state recreational area or the national forest or whatever, they're doing it illegally, because unless they got the actual permit that says they can do that and get paid commercially for it, they're committing crimes. So, first of all, you can't do that. If you're on private property, it's a different story. And then again, the integrity of if we were to take people out into actual research areas, into real research, compared to, well, you just hang out with little Jimmy John and we go off to the pond you're yonder, and there's always Bigfoot around the tree because he's going to psych you out and put into your brain the idea of Bigfoot already out there. Is going to prime you, and the nighttime is going to get you wild up. So when you hear a little this, a little that, he's going to play off as this is Bigfoot. And some people are going to be like, "Oh my God, yeah, we experienced Bigfoot and stuff, and it was a freaking raccoon climbing up the tree. It was nothing." And people are going to say, "Oh, that was the best $500 I ever spent. I can't wait to do it again." And, you can build a theme park out of going out in the woods. And, we go over here and, the woods itself. Sometimes there's just, critters and stuff that does whatever. And people get primed up. People get scared. They have adrenaline rush. They get an adventure. And then guess what? Oh, they hear a coyote go off. Inside the middle of the coyote howls, the pack of coyotes, there's one vocal that sounds squatchy. And that's good enough to feed that conveyor belt of bullshit, and people fall for it. And then there's more money. And then, there will be a time where the good legalization and ample opportunity that people will take to prey upon those naive people who want to go Sasquatching for people. And they will charge $500, and then you'll go out and you'll experience nothing but fantasy, and it will work. And we see it now, but I think in the next 5 to 10 years, you see the number of conferences going up and doing stuff. When we started the very first conference, right, the very original Michigan Bigfoot conference, before there were some issues, there was very few conferences, and now there's a lot. And the popularity is going to grow, and people want to go out, and people want to go look for experts to take them out. And I think that unless you have integrity and you want to do it the right way and, professionally and all the right legal way, it's it takes a little bit more professional integrity and standard to do that, and not just, oh yeah, pay me this money and we can go out Bigfooting and, commit fraud and tax evasion and all this, because you're not really doing it the right way, which is with permits, which is with taxes, which is with actual statements, and but there's always the donations. You just, hey, I don't charge for money, but if you want to donate, you can donate, and if you think the experience was worth it, there's that. So that might be a little bit way for those who are thinking about charging people for money and then going on state or federal land. Better to ask for donations, because it's illegal to commercially get paid to take people out on those pieces of property as a guide or expert. So Christine Murphy says, back in the 70s, we were labeled kooks. I almost said crooks, kooks, talking about cryptids. Now it's all about money, arguments, and not the truth. Awesome to see another Michigan person here. Yeah, I think that's what it is. It's like I said, it's a $2 billion industry. It's growing. Every single year, it's growing exponentially. You see you see it, artwork, stickers, little keychains. All sorts of stuff, we have merchandise. I haven't put the link in the chat in a while, or in the show in a little bit, but I got some clothing and stuff, little merchandise and stuff, cups and, I understand, there's money in it and why not? But at the same time, there's a fine line between, trying to do real research and trying to acquire money for research, then preying upon people and just kind of get money, 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 money. You know, you don't really care about the subject. You don't care about anything. You don't research, you know, you're just doing shows and podcasts, you know, and you're all about that money. And you constantly even throw it out there. I want to make a living off this. And it's like, how arrogant is that? That you were literally bragging that you want to make a living off this. And I'm not talking about Wolf. I've heard from other people who want to make a money off this and a living off this. And it's like, all they do is podcasts and stuff. So it's like, I mean, like, to make money off the Bigfoot community just to do podcasting and stuff, to me, you're taking away from real researchers the resources that they actually need to buy real equipment, to fund expeditions and campouts, to go to real places, not to, you know, surf online and Google for, you know, Robert, bro. Yeah, Robert, we actually did look at those screenshots. I was wondering why you didn't say anything because you were sleeping. Yeah, we looked at him, bro. We looked at him. It's inconclusive because, you know, there's something obviously there, or it's a stump, or if it's a shadow, because they didn't get the right angle correctly enough, because that tree is in front of the stump where the thing actually would stand. It could be a Bigfoot, could be a stump, could be a person, could be a coat, could be a shadow, could be nothing. It's inconclusive. So if you go back, I talk about it and stuff. I was wondering where you're at too. I was like, it's kind of weird. He's not saying nothing. Because, you know, I'd have to go back and watch more videos from him to see if he's the kind of person who seems like he's trying to hoax or make up stuff. See if he has any issues. A bunch of stuff. So we did look into that, and thank you for bringing that to our attention and stuff, because it's pretty cool and stuff. I have a picture like that, actually. I have a picture that me and James, when me and James went out to this area for the third time, we had some activity, and I have a picture that I took on my GoPro. When I don't have it ready or nothing, but when I got it on the computer, it was upside down, which is weird. So I, you know, flipped it up, and I'm looking at the trees and stuff, and you see, to me, I've been doing this for a while, and I think I see things easier and differently than other people sometimes. So you see the tree line of the trunk of the tree, the straight vertical line of the tree. And then you see what appears to be like a person hanging off the tree that is not part of the tree. And it looks like a person, but it is like that picture. It's just a dark blob squatch, and there's nothing definitive of anything. But to me, there's definitely something hanging off the tree, and it looks like a dark person type of thing, but it's far away, and it was upside down when I uploaded it and stuff. So I understand that, and people have showed me, other people in Michigan have showed me stuff of maybe Sasquatches, but you know, pictures are very inconclusive. And like I said, they may tell you a picture can tell you say have 1,000 words to it, but in our community and evidence today with AI, it's not enough. You need video. So well, yes, we all know Bigfoot and Dogmen are everywhere. I personally am trying to do that. I don't know if I'm trying to be on TV, but definitely going to get it and release it on here. We've got some video. Me and Jason Kenzie and Blake Doisher's Bigfoot encounter up in the UP, or something along that lines, on our channel. On that, you can watch a nighttime encounter where it's about as close as you can get to having one almost on film. There's some eye shine and stuff, but we were like that close from seeing them on the night vision footage on a 4K Sony camcorder. So we were close. I think we're going to get close. We got a lot of good audio evidence, some wood knocks and stuff consistently in some of these different areas of a larger historical area. And I think this year, personally, the group, the Lost Cryptids Conservatory, are going to get Some pretty damn good evidence of audio and experiences from whoever's with us to witness some of the stuff we are experiencing in this area, and hopefully get video, which is king. Video is king because video has audio and, of course, the visual observation of the creature, which if we can get spectacular movement or abnormal movement or it picking or some demonstration of physical strength, physical speed, abnormal movement, spider crawling, climbing a tree, doing something that's so totally abnormal from a bears or coyotes or a human, video is going to be king into proving Sasquatch besides DNA or a physical specimen. Video and audio. But I think video because video can capture audio too. So you have a Bigfoot screaming at you on camera and it's on audio. You know, the video is going to be much better evidence, obviously. So it's only a matter of time. The Lost Cryptids, I honestly believe that this year, especially the way things have been going, I feel it that it's going to be a good year. And I think because I'm in a better spot, I'm doing a lot better. I'm happier, got a lot better things going and rolling around and stuff. And I feel it, man. I feel it in my bones. I really feel that we are going to get some damn good stuff this year. And I think we've been doing a damn good job. We got 37 knocks. That video, go listen to that. 37 wood knocks, tree knocks. I'm positive we're going to get more, better and better and better stuff, and to the point that it's going to be damn good. So I do want to make mention. I don't have no videos, but I did see the Squatch Watchers, the good old boys, the good old hoaxers, had an interview on Doug Hycheck's show, The Untold Radio, with Doug Hycheck himself. And I was very surprised. You know, this is why I'm surprised, you know. Anyone who does real research or watches their videos and stuff should easily be able to tell. Those Squatch Watchers don't know what they're doing, and the evidence that they present is not legitimate enough. It's not, I mean, real evidence because they put out coyotes calls, and I'm sure, obviously, Doug Hycheck doesn't watch this show. He hasn't watched the video evidence that I've showed of the Squatch Watchers themselves picking up a rock, throwing it up on a hill, watching the rock roll down the hill, and claim on the captions, the description that a Bigfoot distracted them. We showed several videos of the Squatch Watchers hearing an owl. And then in the description and the tag of the video, a Bigfoot screams at them to get out of its territory. Or the video where a coyote announces itself during the daytime and they're all like, whoa, man, scary. And it's like a Bigfoot screaming at them or territorial display or whatever. And it's a coyote. The most basic coyote call you can hear in the woods. They think it's a Bigfoot call. They're presenting it. And so when they're on Doug Hycheck's show and he's like, you know, they're getting good evidence, it makes me wonder if it's professional integrity and maybe they just didn't look at enough stuff, or if it's for the entertainment and production value, because Squatch Watchers have a big following and they're popular, and it'd be a good show with a lot of views to have them on. But for the real integrity of the research and viewing of the stuff that they put out and the stuff that they claim, and them themselves picking up a rock and throwing it as hoaxing. I'm not quite sure, you know, where that line is with Doug and that show, because, you know, if you look at their videos, you look at their stuff, you look at their claims and look at the evidence and the stuff, it's bullshit. It's not real. And with Doug, a person who has a very rigorous list of a rigorous process that if you send him evidence, your evidence has to go through this rigorous process of elimination before it can be, really accepted and looked at by him. To me, it's kind of it's a hypocritical thing when you have a guest on your show and you either do very little research on the actual evidence that they're presenting, or you don't care and you want to have the views because of their channel count. So I don't know what's going on there. I don't know. But to me, anyone who's given them limelight and praises and saying they're like, obviously hasn't watched their videos. Obviously have not watched their content. Hasn't watched how they act out in the woods. They're only looking at their channel subscriber count and the views that they're getting on their channel. And they're thinking, that'd be a good interview to have on my channel for my subscriber count and views. They're not looking at the evidence that these guys are putting out, which is horseshit. And hoaxing. If I pick up a rock and I'm so stupid enough to throw it up on a freaking hill and I video it rolling down the hill and I look at my boys over there, and then, a Bigfoot tries to distract us. That's literally what they claim. A Bigfoot tries to distract us. And the dude picks up a rock and he throws the rock. And he films the rock roll down the hill. And it's probably the same guy that says a Bigfoot tries to distract us. This is like kindergartner stuff. Like he didn't even edit it out. He could have just edited out him picking up the rock. Just edit it out, cut it out. You just have a rock rolling down the hill and say the Bigfoot just tried to distract us. They're too stupid to cut out the part of them hoaxing. So that's kind of frustrating and stuff. I see that and I shake my head and I think, man, this community and the values and the integrity are just out of whack. There is not integrity. There's not. It's entertainment value, it's production, or it's money, it's clout, it's popularity and stuff, or it's whatever. It's not about the research, it's not about the money, or it's not about the evidence, it's not about going out there. It's about this friendship, it's about making money, it's about being popular, it's about views and subscribers and monetization, and then making money off merchandise and conferences and everything but the research. And I think it's time to shut up. I think it's time to who get the more production of value a channel has and the very little research they do, I think shows that they're all talk. That's all they are. All talk. How much information are you really going to glean from that talking bullshit? They don't even go out in the woods and don't do anything. How much can you really find out? How much can you really listen to before it's like an echo chamber that never goes anywhere? Muddy, stale water, stagnant water that doesn't flow anywhere, remains stagnant, muddy, dirty, murky, and produces nothing, can't produce life. The life is choked out of it. So that's my thoughts. Almost at 3 hours here. I think we're going to shut the show down. No one wanted to join. No, that's a good or bad thing. Pat was doing his show and stuff, so I'll probably check that out here probably the next couple of days and see what he's all about, talking about. Otherwise, I probably would have joined his show. He's always welcome to on here. Some people I think are shut up and stuff. I think the former government who's now transgender or whatever, I don't know. The former government who you can find his interviews on here and on Bigfoot Odyssey pretty much said that government would show up on your doorstep within, I don't know, an hour after you've pretty much, take a picture, send a text or anything like that. Pretty much, they're gonna come and shut you up and get it, and probably threaten you, or you know, you know, all that. Exactly. You have to. The angle of that picture is not good enough. You have to like see what's in front of that tree, or go walk up to it, and yeah, yeah. I'll probably check about and stuff. It's pretty interesting, and see what he's about. Yeah. So gotta. Yeah. I was hoping to have some more videos out, but this week did not. This week flew by and stuff. So and life, work, and all that. So, but hopefully, next week gonna be going out. Definitely at least one day, maybe 2 days. Try to get more audio evidence, and then I think here next 2 weeks to a month, we're gonna get the badass microphone system for the audio recorder, and then we're gonna have to buy another one, and then set up long duration audio recorders, set up the trail cameras, which I don't think is ever gonna get anything, but we'll set those up, set up the audio recorders. We're doing our thing. Hopefully, we trickle in some evidence for you guys, like we have been this year, at a pretty good rate so far. And then, just keep going. I mean, all honestly, all we do is we just go to these areas, and we have our equipment, but honestly, we're just experiencing whatever happens. There's no magic formula to it other than go to the active areas. And I think that it depends on the people who go there, that these creatures uh, seem to be more comfortable interacting, or doing stuff with, not even interacting, but just doing stuff around these people, or letting their presence be known. I really think it's the people around that is a big factor, compared to some of the other stuff, like having equipment, not having equipment, having a gun, not having a gun. I think it's really the person or people around the area, that factors into whether or not a Bigfoot actually interacts or makes a presence known, or whatever. If you have some drunk asshole who's making a fool of himself, yelling and screaming and chest beating and stuff, compared to they see this other person who's calm, cool, and collective and chilled out on the chair and not reacting the same way, who do you think that they're gonna be more attuned and apt to, like, want to mess around with, or like let their presence be known, or feel comfortable with, like, wow, these guys are out here looking for us. One of them is a drunk asshole who's screaming and acting dangerously stupid, who's going to get himself hurt or hurt one of us, or these other people who are like really cool, calm, collective. They seem like they're, you know, not dumb, Neanderthal. They can actually sit and study and observe a situation and use their brain, and not just you know pick up a gun and start shooting at every little sound that walks through the woods, because they have no brain cells left. I think it's a big factor, and I think it's through the people watching, through watching people on private property, watching through windows, watching the TV, watching people. I think they picked up on a lot of mannerism, body language, emotional tones, emotional. They might not understand our language. Maybe they do. I think they can understand when someone's pissed off and saying, dropping F bombs and mad at someone. Someone's crying over the loss of a loved one or a parent, or, they're sad and depressed, or they're angry, or whatever emotion, happy, having fun playing and stuff. I think they understand those things a lot more than we are giving them credit to. And I think we need to think of these things as a people, as as an intelligent type of person, and not as, well, they're North American great ape, and it's smarter than a gorilla, but it's not as smart as a person. But it's you know in between. So it's might be playing with its shit. It might not be playing with its shit. Monkeys and gorillas, they pick their asses, they pick their butt. I does it, where on the scale does a Sasquatch lean? If they're picking their butts and stuff, then I think they're more animalistic, and we should have more mistakes made in Sasquatches on camera. If there are people, kind of more of culture, language, intelligence, and tactical understanding and planning, and we're dealing with something that doesn't make as much mistakes and is something that is beyond the normal realm of the natural animal kingdom. Because if they're picking their butts, and they're eating people, and they're just, they have this insatiable hunger that can never be satisfied, there should be more attacks on people. There should be more evidence of this dumb Neanderthal, and Neanderthals aren't dumb. So, but this dumb ape who is barely smarter than a gorilla, but is basically a big monster that, can barely control itself. To me, they are highly controlled and in control of themselves. They are highly in control of themselves, because if they were not in control of themselves, when random people go in the woods and point guns and do stupid things, they would react, and you would hear about it a lot more. But in fact, they're able to have a gun pointed at them and in their direction, and not freak out and kill that person, or not, they have the intelligence to wait, see what happens, and understand that, violence and brute force and direct head-on-head contact isn't the smartest thing to do in situations. So in fact, where most animals, when threatened and stuff, would attack, when you're backed into a corner, it's a vicious fight for your life. But these things exert so much more energy to avoid conflict, to avoid certain situations, that would indicate that they're highly intelligent, that they are planning these tactics, and they are thinking about getting out of the area and avoiding conflict instead of taking you out, which might be taking a person out might be an actual easier thing for them to do. Picking up a rock and chucking it at you that you don't see where it came from and killing you might be a lot easier than trying to sneak out of an area where there's a guy who has a gun pointed at them. That's not an easier option. So they do things intelligently, tactically, and to me, it shows that they are highly intelligent, and we're dealing with something that is, well beyond a gorilla intelligence. And if you watch, Coco and I think Coco, was that her name? Koto, the sign language gorilla, and the way she talked, and even her very last message and stuff. And she says that humans are dumb, man is dumb, and that we need to become protect nature and stuff. If gorillas are able to learn sign language and stuff, and a Sasquatch is smarter than a gorilla, then a Sasquatch theoretically should be able to learn more humanistic stuff, or sign language, or more interaction, or able to interact more with humans than Coco was. And they might take them being in captivity all their life to learn sign language and all that. But if they're smarter than gorillas, then the capacity for that is there. And so, Robert, no, that's not going to happen. I'm not going to reveal that area because of a couple of reasons. Because yes, it's an area that is dangerous for people to go. That interaction with me and Jason, although spectacular and awesome and nothing bad happened, you put 100 different pairs of people in that same situation, and one of those pairs or some of those pairs might not make it out of there for whatever reason. For the safety of the Sasquatches, I'm not going to blurt out that name, so every random bimbo goes out there and ruins the spot for the Sasquatches and for future researching. And it's pretty much it, and mostly because it's a dangerous spot where people go missing. And I would feel very bad if people went out there to go Bigfooting because they found out that's where I went and something happened to them. I would feel responsible because, it's because I've been out there with these things. I know these things are real. I know the dangerous situations that every encounter has the potential to become. We're dealing with things that can kill you with a fraction of their strength. It will not take much for humans are fragile. Our bones are not strong like other animals. They're not as dense. We're not brute force Neanderthals that can break our arms and just, oh, well, keep going. And then it's just going to heal. Might be a little messed up, but it's going to heal. And we're going to keep going like other animals and stuff of Earth. Humans are very fragile, weak, thin-boned creatures. So, and most of that, is, it makes us pretty easy pickings for most stuff. Our skin's soft, That's why a lot of old predators attack humans, because easy prey, and the skin is actually pretty soft. So when animals and lions and tigers and stuff are missing teeth, humans are a little bit softer to chew up on, and you consistently find that with older animals, and we're slower. So a Bigfoot can take you out pretty easily, but most of the time it chooses to avoid conflict or scare you out of the woods so you don't come back instead of attacking you outright. Of course, I'm sure they learn the consequences of that. When they kill someone or they take someone, there's about 100 more people that show up with dogs and helicopters, and they search everywhere. And they search, in everywhere. But if you only wait 2 weeks, they all leave. Search and rescue only looks for people for about a week or 2. Very rarely, depending on the case or if there's a kid, they extend those search and rescue missions. But after about 2 weeks and you're lost in the wilderness, that's it. Unless your family has money to blow and spend on privately and stuff, they're gonna end the search for public funding, and they're gonna stop and gonna say, you're lost, or you're pretty much deceased, or So Bigfoot only have to wait, about 2 weeks, and then all the search area and search people go away. So I think some rogue groups and some nefarious Bigfoot tribal groups, I'm sure, have learned that they get away with missing people because they know the pattern. Typically, this is my opinion, theory, that, once you learn a pattern, I can take a person, and we have this many hours before this many people show up to search this spot. And at first, they're going to search the spot where the person goes missing. So if we take a person and we go run way over here, it's going to take a while before that group that is searching this area comes over here. And then, of course, we wait a couple days, a week or 2, and then they're going to slowly not be in the woods anymore. And you can learn that An intelligent animal can learn that hunting pattern through observation and experience. And once they learned and experienced that they can get away with that and they know how to, they might keep doing it. And it might be, that's a habit that we don't want Sasquatches to have. If they potentially are doing that, I'm not sure. I think there are people, and I think there's some good ones, there's some bad ones, there's some ones that just don't like us, there's some ones who want to have interaction, they want to try to get us to know us better, but there's this barrier that there's a lot of barriers, but maybe we'll know the answer sooner rather than later is what I'm hoping. So if there's anything else, put it in the comments. I'm going to get off this live show, and we are going to call it. Check out Nikki's show tomorrow. I can't remember what it's called. I see Pat is still on. That's good. Might I don't know, depending on what he's doing over there, I might jump on real quick, or I might go to the bathroom, get really tired, and go to bed. I'm not sure. Yeah, check out Nikki's show tomorrow, the Solar Sasquatch. Solar Squatch. What impact will our solar eclipse have on Sasquatch? Very interesting question. I would give my opinion that Sasquatches are not going to react any differently than any other eclipse that any other ones have experiences over the generational time they've been here. So I would expect that someone has taught their generational experiences that eclipses happen, and maybe they have some religious meaning and stuff. That would be more fascinating, of the religious aspect of, or if they're a cultural aspect, or if they're gonna do some special chanting or some special religious type of thing. I mean, that'd be more interesting, but of course someone would have to be out there and record it and all that. But I think they probably gonna just do what they do anytime there's an eclipse or whatever they've been taught. I'm not sure. A lot of weird stuff going on with this eclipse, supposedly with animals going bad. Why? So if we're supposed to report animal behavior to NASA, did anyone else see that? I thought NASA was a space program. Why are they concerned with animal behavior during an eclipse? I thought that was interesting. Alrighty. Well, I don't see any comments or questions, so I think we're going to shut the stream down. I appreciate everyone who watched this and joined us, and we'll watch this later on. Appreciate each and every one of you guys, and we will maybe see you next week, or maybe not. I don't know. It depends on if I'm in the woods and what I'm doing and all that, but I think we'll give you some updates, and might have a video here or two ready to go. I'm looking at, I do got the Squatch Watch videos up here still. I still have them throwing that damn rock. So, every time I see these guys get interviewed or praised or put on this pedestal and stuff, I want to show the host the video of them throwing this rock and claiming it's Bigfoot. So we're going to play this video out for the outro, and then we're going to call it a day. Watch as he picks up this rock and throws it. She picks it up and he throws it right here. Bam. see the rock sailing, and it rolls down the hill. And then it says, a Bigfoot on camera trying to distract us during an investigation, exclamation mark. So he literally picks up the rock, and then you can see it whipping. He whips it. Wham! I mean, and you see it sailing lower right-hand corner between the two trees. And so this is the Squatch Watchers, you know? I mean, come on, Doug. Mr. Highcheck, these are the people you're having on the show that you're promoting as, real researchers doing real good work. I'm guessing you did not watch that video, which they openly promote as a Bigfoot distracting them during their investigation. To me, what is it? You just, it's, everyone can overlook that one. I mean, it's just a random short video. I mean, you could overlook that. But, come on. Is it entertainment, or is there any integrity in this field? I would love to see Doug's response to watching that video and then saying, well, what do you think of the Squatch Watchers then? As anyone with a brain can look at that video and it's clearly see that the person just threw that rock up on the hill, filmed it, and then they're claiming a Bigfoot did it. And I know Cart Universal, Cart, Catskill Research Collective, he had him on their show and did an interview and stuff. And it's like, I don't think they, obviously they're not watching the same stuff that we watched and other people exposed. And, they put them on these pedestals, and then it's like, you watch the video I just showed. What are you going to say then? You're going to retract that video and put a different interview and say, well, these guys are hoaxing, so I made a mistake. No, I don't think Doug's going to do that either. And, that's cool and stuff too. It'd be nice to have these people acknowledge wow, these people are hoaxing, and I kind of made a mistake promoting them because I didn't really look at their content that they were actually putting out, because I wanted to believe the views and subscribers and their personalities more than the actual evidence that they're putting out as Bigfoot evidence. Because any bimbo can act and have good personality and be your friend and, act enthusiastic and be cool. And when they're putting out fake hoaxing stuff, come on, it's a lie. It's a direct lie to your face. And it's unacceptable for the community to just blindly turn the cheek and say, well, they're popular. It's good for our, it's good to get more new members in the community, that's growing. They're on TV, they're going out talking to witnesses. So, the good outweighs the bad. I don't think so. All right, Robert, you guys take it easy, and I will see you guys next time and stuff. Enjoy the show. Enjoy the different content we have out here. Some of the older stuff, Waterloo Expedition. There's some audio. There's some evidence and audio evidence at the end of that. Actually, all of our expedition kind of raw documentary style videos on the channel have evidence throughout the expeditions, and usually at the end, there's some good ones like the Allegan Expedition Part 1 and Allegan Expedition Part 2. There are a good amount of evidence on there, and some clips of us in the woods walking around and just having fun. So check out all that. And of course, me and Jason Kenzie and Blake Deutscher's Bigfoot Encounter in the UP. There's a fantastic actual encounter on camera at nighttime. Almost as good as you can get. We just couldn't quite get them on camera, but we were as close as you can get without getting them on camera at nighttime. And you can see Jason as he watches the thing spider crawl across the trail. And you see him, his face. He does a factory reset on his system, and he is blown away by what he witnessed. And he definitely has experienced bears, deer, and other wildlife as a animal photojournalist and growing up in the remote British Columbia wilderness areas and stuff. So he's not some city dwelling newbie who doesn't know anything out in the woods. He actually has experienced stuff. So when he says he's seen it cross the trail and it was no bear and it's nothing else, you better believe it. And you see how he watches that. He looks. You see how he reacts. That is the person who sees something in real time. And check that out. All right. So we'll be back again for more. Maybe next week, maybe not. I'm not quite sure. Maybe we'll do a Thursday show or some other type of show. Actually, I was thinking about having more guests on and possibly doing a weekly show with guests that maybe will be on Saturday or maybe be on Thursday or Tuesday or Thursday. If we're going to do another show during the week with guests. So if you want to be a guest, you want to have encounters, you want to talk about Bigfoot and stuff, email me, contact me on Facebook, or just message me a comment on here. I'll get a hold of you and we can start to set that up and maybe do a little bit of more of that. So God bless each and every one of you. And I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your night and the rest of your day if you're watching this later.